People with strong cultural backgrounds surround these sandy beaches of Lake Victoria. In this area, it is important to marry and have children, a tradition that Biko Nyawita follows for 8 years now. Biko is married and has a 5-year-old son. However, there is something different about this man.
Vile nilizaliwa kufika kwa age ya 15, nikaona my orientation haikuwa kwa women sana. Nilikuwa attracted with men. Kama niko na kitu kama 23 years, my sister akaniletea msichana.
This arranged marriage, however, did not stop Biko.
Penye orientation yangu ilikuwa imeniweka ni yao. Sasa in case nikikutana tu hata na mwingine na mchifunga tu.
Tulikuwa tunamaliza hata karibu miezi 2, miezi 3 bila kufanya sex. Nikimuuliza hataki kunifunulia. Na masafari nazo alikuwa amejaza. Leo anatoka, akirudi, anakuja na vijana around kama 2, 3.
After coming to terms with her husband's sexuality, the couple made an arrangement that will suit them both.
Akaniambia, ukikubalia au huyo mwenye nimefall na yeye aje, tunalala na yeye kwa kitanda. Alafu sasa wakati ninamshikashika ndio mimi nina fall sex. Bila yeye kukua hapo karibu, siwezi fall sex na wewe. Mimi sasa pia nikakubalia, tukakaa hivyo around 6 months nikapata mimba.
The most at risk population surveillance report states that 2 out of every 10 men having sex with the men said they'd had 2 or more partners in the past 12 months. This is confirmed by the program coordinator of Kisumu Initiative for Positive Empowerment, an organization working in HIV prevention and treatment for men having sex with men.
MSM typically have like a woman or women they trust, and then a man and men they trust. And it's this multiplicity of sexual partnerships that increases the HIV risk within the MSM community.
Biko has approximately 7 male sex partners a month.
Around 3 of them tumesha shirikiana nao bila kinga yoyote. Tulitumia tu only lubricant. Na 4 wamebaki tulitumia lubricant na condom. Wanaweza kuja hata wengi sasa hizi vile sasa shule inataka kufungwa. Wanaenda hata mpaka around 15.
The most at-risk population surveillance report revealed that 4 out of every 10 men having sex with men have ever been married to women. Like Biko, 1 out of 10 are still married to women. These bisexual men act as a bridge between the heterosexuals within unions or regular partnerships and the men who exclusively have sex with men.
The data shows that their sexual networks are not just within themselves. It may also extend to the general population. These subgroups, such as MSM, may be contributing more to the number of new infections in Kenya each year than people realize.
And while Biko's wife veils his orientation, Felix Kasanda, otherwise known as Mama G, defies culture twice. He shares his story in our next episode of The Invisible Bridge. The hot and humid temperatures of Kisumu can be used to describe the town's pulsating nightlife. Most of the entertainment spots, from bars to clubs, teem with revelers as sex workers come out to trade in the night. Amongst them is Felix Kasanda, popularly known as Mama G. Previously, we brought you the story of Biko, a married man who often has sex with other men besides his wife. Today, we bring you the story of Mama G, a male sex worker in Kisumu town, a growing community that gives the female sex workers a run for their money.
Nenda field, nenda kusaka do sasa.
According to the most at-risk population surveillance report, an estimated 7 out of every 10 men having sex with men reported having engaged in sexual activity with paying male partners. While in the past 12 months, 6 out of 10 of those acts were unprotected.
My clientele are married men, yeah, because and I prefer them because they have got money. They have the experience on how to treat a woman. So same to me, I want them to treat me well. So if I go for this matine mavijana, hawatanichochea hapo by the way. Wanataka za sare.
On average, Mama G gets 10 clients a month. Roughly, 7 of them are married. Of the 10 clients, 4 want to use protection. Only 1 of the 4 is a married man.
10,000 without condom and 2,000 with condom. I'll go for 10,000 because I'm all money. I need to dress well.
And the reasons for the clients not using condoms?
They don't have the information that through anal sex someone can get infected. They don't have the information. Yeah. They know that it is just mostly it is through vaginal. So it is a challenge. Even to convince these clients to use condom, wow, a big problem.
A study by Kisumu Initiative for Positive Empowerment revealed that 3 out of every 10 men having sex with men were hazardous drinkers, while 5 out of every 10 men having sex with men reported abuse of drugs, a factor that contributed to low condom use.
If you are that sober, yani huwezi kwenda ku approach client, umwambie clientele eti nakutaka nimekuadmire. You have to be somehow gauge.
In the presence of alcohol, they're less likely to have the correct information to make good choices, and they're less likely to be in an environment where people encourage them to make safe choices.
In the absence of targeted HIV education, men having sex with men are often unaware how risky and safe sex is.
We are trying to sensitize these gay people to use condoms and lubricants.
There are usually tears or lacerations when they actually have this. So if somebody just goes blindly, chances of transmission are very high, or even accusations.
According to the most at-risk population surveillance report, 8 out of 10 men having sex with men in Kisumu had tested for HIV. Stigma and homophobia isolate the men having sex with men. These scars on Mama G's arm are from an attack because of his sexual orientation.
I was going to supermarket next to Tuskys, so these people they started like, are you a man or a woman? They just came and beat me up. I went to the police station and report. So after which, when I went there, this policeman was now asking me again, kwani wamekupiga kwa makosa? Are you not gay? Can you see the way you've dressed?
His experience with healthcare facilities wasn't very different.
I was suffering from anal prolapse, so I went to the district hospital. So after seeing what I was undergoing through, instead of helping me, this nurse called other nurses and doctors in the facility to come and witness what was going on. Yeah. So they were like asking me, where did you get this from? Are you gay? Are you shoga? Yeah. And who told you that we are dealing with gay men in this facility?
The Kisumu District AIDS Control Officer defends against accusations of inflexibility in the hospital is...
Government facilities, people say the staffs there would be strict. But at the end of the day, that strict nature would actually be able to help you comply and be able to even recover to the type of treatment. But if you go to a place where somebody doesn't show that strictness in terms of the management that is done, then you never take these things seriously.
Humiliations and incidences like these lead to this community's reluctance in seeking healthcare services. This is not only risky to them, but to the wider population.
If we continue stigmatizing these people, they will hide. And what are they doing? They are going with our sons, they are going with our husbands, they are going with our uncles, they are going with our fathers. And at the end of the day, these fathers' sons will come to their wives. And again, we will be diluting all the efforts we've ever made in the HIV world.
But should men who have sex with men be treated as special?
They don't want just a clinic to be labeled, this is a clinic for the MSM. No, that will add a lot of stigma. What you're trying to do is integrate some of these services.
Mama G's sex trade currency is money. In a witch loom, a fishing village, sex is traded in for fish. This is a common practice in fishing villages by women. They are currently receiving competition from men. We explore this in the final part of this series. Along Lake Victoria lies a witch loom, a fishing village where fish trade is the main economic activity. These men are preparing for a night expedition that takes them to other islands in search of the precious commodity. From a distance, they all appear the same, and they are, except for Musa, not his real name.
I found a certain guy which had same feelings. So that's when I started practicing as an MSM, now officially.
Fishing is an activity that is dominated by men, turning it into a boys' club. Musa says that in a month he visits 5 islands on his fishing expeditions. He has 2 partners in each of these 5 islands, totaling to 10. Some of them are married men. Musa has one constant male partner who he does not use condoms with. While Musa is generally careful, desperation during a low catch prompts him to act differently.
If you fail to get fish for 2 consecutive days, you lack money, so you find another way of getting money. Sometimes somebody gives you that bucket of a fish, you go prepare, but that one bucket, you will sex with him 2 rounds, and very serious ones, not just a joking one.
1 in 5 men having sex with men in Kisumu visited a clinic that is friendly to them in the last year, while 3 out of 10 were in touch with a peer educator.
One day, I can remember when I got there, I started to explain when I had an STI, to explain how it's affected me. The doctor was scared. He gave me these local tablets and sent me home. I went to a grandmother, my grandmother. She's a herbalist. She's treated me well. Up till today, when I have a problem, I do go there.
We have to train these people, including the watchmen, the hospital receptionists, the workers around there, just to have an attitude that is pleasant to the MSMs.
The service provision of men who have sex with men sometimes goes beyond medical care.
I've been called like even at 3 in the morning. Hey, we have been chased out to the bouncers, being beaten and being slapped because we danced in a manner that suggested that we were attracting men. So the initiative we took is training the bar owners and the managers on the understanding how best to handle these people. They're human beings.
Nyawek is a coalition of lesbians, gays, bisexuals, transsexuals and intersex groups in Nyanza, Western and Rift Valley. The Kenyan law criminalizes anal sex, which is punishable by up to 5 years in prison. The Bill of Rights, on the other hand, advocates for rights to healthcare for all, a dilemma those responding to the breach that most prefer to keep invisible have since crossed.
Regardless of their sexual orientation, regardless of their situations, regardless of where they are living, we are supposed to just give services to these people.
Leon feels that the government can do a lot more.
A lot of the money that is invested is used up in technical support to the government and to the country, really the higher levels, to be able to create a political environment that is tolerant of MSM programming, but this money doesn't get to grassroots organizations.
But as questions abound on the way forward, some solutions are forthcoming too. Musa and others who share in this orientation may eventually be visible.
So by the time we bring him across, in between us here, and talk about him, we'll be helping him one, we'll be helping you, and you'll be helping me. So we'll be helping the 3 of us, and hence reducing what? The grievances which each and everyone is fighting through.
It's a reality. It's there with us. The people are there. So how are we able to actually work to actually help them?
This is a high time we stopped using moral issues when in the fight against HIV.
Biko, the gay man who is also married that we featured in the first episode, thanks awareness and campaigns that helped him acquire safe sexual practice.
Kitambo tulikuwa tunatumia tu Vaseline, hizi mafuta zingine zenye hazifai. Sasa vile nilijitokeza nikapata mpaka gays wako na kondom zao zenye ziko na lubricant tayari.
And while the different players in the health sector hope that their efforts will get public support, Musa, Mama G, Biko, and many who need these services continue meeting their different needs the only way they know. Sometimes they cross the bridge that exposes both men and women who are invisibly linked.